Hello everybody, welcome to our channel. My name is Ryan, my beautiful wife Lindsay and I, we go by Rnzy. We are full-time shoe resellers. We sell both new and used shoes, and we use Poshmark, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and StockX. Today we're talking about our sourcing trip yesterday. We want to talk a little bit about the strategy that we used, talk about the discounts that we used, and at the end, we're going to share some of the pairs that we picked up so you can kind of see the inventory that we bring in. As we dive into today's video, we want to be super clear when we figure out our buy cost per shoe. Of course, we include the cost of the shoes, but we also include the gas we put in the car to go get the shoes, the food we ate while sourcing the shoes, the taxes, any tolls that we went through on the highway. Everything rolls into our true buy cost so that when something sells, we get our true net profit. All right, so the strategy for yesterday's sourcing trip is we were going to take advantage of a 30% off sale that was going off at the Savers locations. Now, one thing that we talked about in our video explaining how to lower your buy cost is making sure you're doing everything possible to do exactly that, lower your buy cost. Yesterday, again, because we are members of the Savers program, which basically means we give them our email and they send us updates on sales that are coming up. It's as easy as that. They sent us a coupon for 30% off. Now, there's a few hitches with this sale and with this coupon. Walking into yesterday's sale, our understanding was that you have to spend over $75 to get 30% off. Now, Savers does host additional discounts throughout the year, but you cannot pile them on to this 30% discount. The reason I'm saying that is because yesterday we ran into a little bit of a hiccup and we had to change our whole entire game plan right at the start of the day. It's super important to mention that because as full-time resellers, you're always going to run into roadblocks. You're always going to run into hiccups. And so we had our game plan set. We had our sourcing route planned. The first stop was about 90 minutes away from where we live. And then we built a circular sourcing route so that the last stop was as close to our home as possible, even though that was still about an hour away from where we live. So we get down to our very first stop. We've got our discount email in hand. The fine print reads, you must spend over $75 in order to get the 30% off. You can only use that discount 3 times total between yesterday's date and July 4th. So we've got all the fine print written down. We understand completely, we think, how the sale is going to work. We go into the store, we start sourcing, we fill our cart with pairs that have good comps on the marketplaces that we're using. We head to the register, we ring everything in, we hand the code, they scan the code, and our bill was something around the high 300s. It was like $372 for the entire cart of shoes. And then we were ready to take that 30% off. She scans the code and it only took off $22. So we were like, wait, what's going on here? And the lady at the cashier was even like, this doesn't make any sense. So she tried to mess around on the computer for a little bit and nothing could change. She called the manager came over, the manager was puzzled as well. And so we said, okay, let's dive back into the fine print of this coupon and figure out what's going on. They verified everything that we just said about it. You can only use it 3 times. Yes, it's 30% off. In order to qualify for that 30% off, you had to spend more than $75. We've clearly had done that. And so the manager was puzzled, the cashier was puzzled, and we were puzzled. The manager said, hey, you guys come in here all the time. You're always buying shoes. You're always very friendly. I'll give you the 30% off. Don't know why this is not working. We get to the second location, and before we start filling our carts, we reach out to a manager there and we say, hey, this is what happened at the last store. We're reading all the fine print. We just want to make sure we understand completely the rules of this sale so that when we get to the register, what happened at the first store doesn't happen at this store. Manager looks over everything and says, yep, everything looks good. As long as you spend over $75, you're going to get that complete 30% off on your entire purchase. And we said, hey, we get that. That's our understanding of how the sale works. Again, this is what happened. Can you kind of meet us at the register just so we don't prevent the people behind us in line from going through quickly? We just want to make sure everything is runs smoothly. And she said, absolutely. Sure enough, We fill our cart at that second stop. I think it came out to about $398. We go to swipe the sale. It only takes $22 off. You guys are starting to see a trend in what is going on. The manager says, I don't understand what's going on. Clearly, we've read all the fine print. I'm just going to give you the 30% off. And you can go about your day. We were very, very grateful. We weren't asking for anything other than what the sale was hosting. So we get to the third spot, and this is where the clarification came through. There was nothing in the fine print. There was nothing that was customer facing in terms of the sale, but they had changed the sale on the back end. So this is a situation where when you're dealing with high volume thrifts, sometimes the higher ups will change something, but they don't relay the information down to the managers of the stores and the employees of the stores. So you just got to be respectful and patient and figure out exactly what's going on. The manager at the third store said, for whatever reason, corporate changed it. You have to spend between $51 and $75 get you the 30% off, but everything over $75 is not discounted. So this is where we said, okay, thank you so much for clarifying. That actually does make sense based on what happened at the first two stores. The managers there didn't know what was going on. That manager at the third store said, yeah, we've been getting a lot of people. It's been very confusing. We're going to try to rework the wording on the next sale email that goes out. Thank you for being patient with us. This is where we had to call an audible. So instead of doing our entire purchase and scanning the code, now we just waited until we got up to $75, scanned the code, got 30% off. And this thrift location hosts other sales. So we've accumulated points on our rewards program. So for every $100, we can get 20% off. That maxes out at $20. And then we started just doing $100 transactions and using those codes. Now that might sound a little complicated, but the moral of the story is understand the sales that are going on, be patient with what is going on, and then maximize your sale efforts, making sure you're following all the rules. It makes no sense to start being argumentative. It makes no sense. Everyone's trying to do a good job, both on the store side and on the reseller side. So being patient and trying to figure out what's going on, using calm language to work with people, and then you can figure out how can I best utilize what is going on. So that's what we had to do yesterday. We made that small pivot. Based on what the sale actually was, we completely understand if you're a reseller and you feel frustrated because you read all the fine print and sales change. Do the best that you possibly can and work with what you have, and that may change throughout the day. Some of the tips that we want to share with you guys, in addition to all the videos that we've already put out, baseline, absolutely baseline, you have to understand the market value of the shoes that you're bringing in on the marketplaces that you're using so that you can make the best possible decisions spending your hard-earned money on inventory. The goal always is to multiply your money. Do not turn this into a guessing game. When we first started, we were in each and every single thrift for hours and hours on end because it took us a very long time to look up the comps on the marketplaces that we plan to sell them. For those of you that don't know, you can look up what a pair is selling for before you actually buy it. Then you just compare that to your buy cost. Make sure you take into consideration all the fees and potential shipping and taxes that may be charged. And then you can make a decision, is this shoe going to be profitable or not? Then all you got to do is go home, put up a quality listing, and the pair should sell as long as you're respecting what that research shows you when you're looking up the comps. Now, over time, you're going to get more efficient. You're going to get quicker with your in-store research. Then that means instead of 3-4 hours in each and every store, it's going to dwindle down. Now we're very efficient. Now we've sold over 20,000 pairs of shoes in the last 4 years. We have our own comps. We have our own understanding. And anything that we don't know or we're not absolutely positive on, we look up the comps while in the store. There's been so many times while we're in store thrifting where we've picked up a pair and we've said to ourselves, not sure if this is going to be profitable. I kind of want to just skip it and throw it in the cart because it's a cool colorway or like it's a nice brand. And if we're not absolutely positive, we pause and we say, okay, let's take out our phone and look it up. Do not skip that part. Some other tips are, there's enough inventory for everyone. This happens to us all the time. If we are filling carts of shoes and we see someone and they're kind of like peeking over into our cart, we'll acknowledge them and we'll say hello and we'll ask them, hey, what's going on? And most of the time they think we're employees because we've got a giant cart full of shoes, but we'll say, hey, is there something in our cart that interested you? And they'll either say, no, I was just curious what was going on, or no, I thought you were an employee getting ready to put these shoes out. Or they'll say, actually, yeah, that one pair that you have in there, I had my eye on. There is enough inventory for everyone. We will actually give them that pair. It's happened so many times in the thrift. Or if they're another reseller and we look over and they've got an absolutely empty cart, we'll say, hey, we've got a whole cart full of shoes. If you just got here, is there any pairs that stick out in your mind that you might want? And we'll give them a couple pairs. What we're not gonna do is fill out our entire cart and then have someone come over and say, just give me. But play that line of making sure that you're building camaraderie with the resellers next to you. You're answering questions of people, verifying that you're actually not an employee in the store. And that goes a long way as you start bumping into people in the thrift. The last tip we're gonna share on today's video, and this will help you be more efficient right off the bat. If you're going to the thrift today, if you're going to the thrift tomorrow, this will help you be more efficient. If you see a shoe and you're interested in potentially flipping that shoe, check the condition before you check the comps, because it doesn't make sense to look up the comps on a pair that is damaged or has a rip or the tread isn't good or is missing the original insoles or you can't read the original inside tag. That's going to save you a tremendous amount of time, because what takes the most time usually is looking up the comps. And although that is the most important, you're going to find that not every pair of shoes on the shelf is even worth looking up because the condition isn't good. So make sure you look at the condition first, and then if it passes your standards for condition, then look up the comps to verify that it is going to be profitable or not. All right, so the final stats for yesterday's sourcing trip are, we brought in 153 pairs of shoes. The total all-in buy cost was $1,336. Remember, that includes not only the cost of the shoes, that includes the taxes paid, that includes the gas, that includes the food that we ate, that includes paying someone, my brother Jake, to come with us and help us. Everything, all the money that went out goes into that $1,336, which means the 153 pairs was an average buy cost of $8.73. We always try to keep our average buy cost for used shoes under $10 per pair. That gives us the best possible chance to make the most amount of money on the marketplaces that we're using. And we always make sure all of those pairs that we bring in have good comps on those marketplaces. All right, guys, as promised, here are 10 pairs that we brought in from this haul. First pair is a pair of leather Harley Davidson boots. Obviously, Harley Davidson is an amazing brand. We picked these up in men's and women's. Up next, we have a pair of Asics Gel Excite 4s. We do really well with the Asics brand. Make sure they're in good condition. These just hit the heartstring. Look at these tiny little off-the-wall canvas Vans. We got a little baby on the way. Our baby girl is due in October, and we cannot get enough of these. Tip for little shoes. We always source little infant shoes that have an adult version. They're usually a lower buy cost, but they still hold a value high enough to get the profits that we want and to help with your average buy cost. Up next is this really cool pair of Star Wars Sperry shoes. These will clean up nice, and anything Star Wars. You got a couple different brands. You got Star Wars and you got Sperry, and these are a good men's size, so these will be good for us. Up next, we have a pair of men's UGG slip-on shearling lined. These are in great condition. They're not going to need that much. This was a killer find. UGG in men's and women's does well for us. Obviously, Nike does well, but if you can ever find ACG, this is a pair of Nike ACG mids. These are a men's pair of hikers. Always do really well for us. 4 more pairs. Vans, snakeskin leather. These are a men's. We're gonna have to put some fresh laces in those, but these are in amazing condition. Keep an eye out for those. 3 more to go. Dansko. Always do the twist test on Danskos. Grab the front, grab the back, and twist them to make sure that there's no dry rot in the soles. Always give them a little squeeze right here as well. Pretty much any colorway, as long as they're in good condition, and Dansko does well for us. 2 more to go. These are a pair of men's leather Doc Martens. Obviously, Doc Martens is a phenomenal brand. Men's and women's does well for us. Also, when we can find youth Doc Martens, that's good. And the last pair that we want to show you are these men's Nike Air Max. These are leather, killer colorway, the black, white, and the gray. They're in great condition. The only thing we want to say about these, whenever you're getting anything Nike Air, you want to make sure the air bubble is not popped. There's 10 pairs that we picked up in this haul. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means the world to Lindsay and I to connect with other resellers around the country and around the world. And we have gotten so much from the reselling community by asking questions consistently. When we don't know how to do something, we ask resellers that are bigger than us or that are at a place that we want to get to. And we say, how are you doing this? What are your thoughts on this? Some respond, some don't. If you ever have any questions, you can reach out to us in the comments below. You can reach out to us on Instagram at Rnzy Now. We love connecting with other resellers. We feel great giving back to the community that has given so much to us. There's no such thing as a silly question. Guys, the adventure continues. We hope no matter where you are in your adventure, you're enjoying each and every single step. We'll see you on the next video. All right, so with all that said, the goal today is to be efficient. The goal today is to be resourceful. The goal today is to be using all of the discounts. The reality is you just gotta be yourself. There's too many P's! Save yourself! Your firearms are useless against them!